Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirayet. Nashta Prayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevayam Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki. Yeah. Hare Krishna. So we'll go to the shloka. 40th shloka. Shishtva bhuta pishasham cha Bhagavan Atmatandrina Digvasaso Muktakeshan Viksha Chamilya Drushau. Shishtva bhuta pishachamscha Bhagavan Atmatandrina Digvasaso Muktakeshan Viksha Chamilya Drushau. Synonyms, translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srishtva, having created Bhuta, ghosts, Pishachan, fiends, Cha, and Bhagavan, Lord Brahma, Atma, his, Tandrina, from laziness, Dikvasasaha, naked, Mukta, disheveled, Keshan, hair, Vikshya, seeing, Cha, and Amiliyat, closed, Drushav, two eyes. Translation. The glorious Brahma next evolved from his sloth, the ghosts and fiends, but he closed his eyes when he saw them stand naked with their hair scattered. Purport: ghosts and mischievous hobgoblins are also the creation of Brahma. They are not false. All of them are meant for putting the conditioned soul into various miseries. They are understood to be the creation of Brahma under the direction of Supreme Lord. Hare Krishna. So devotees can read the next sloka. Then I'll summarize these 2-3 slokas.
Vasudha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Jagrustadvisrutam tam jrimbhanakyam tanum prabho nidram indriya vikledo yaya bhuteshu drishyate eno chistan darsayanti tam unmadam prachakshate. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Mamita Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The ghost and hobgoblins took possession of the body thrown off in the form of yawning by Brahma, the creator of the living entities. This is also known as the sleep which causes drooling. The hobgoblins and ghosts attack men who are impure, and their attack is spoken of as insanity. Hare Krishna, then pronounced. Thank you.
Shilpa Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The disease of insanity or being haunted by ghosts take place in an unclean state of existence. Here it is clearly stated that when a man is fast asleep and saliva flows from his mouth and he remains unclean, ghosts then take advantage of his unclean state and haunt his body. In other words, those who drool while sleeping are considered unclean and are subject to be haunted by ghosts or to go insane. Hare Krishna.
Next shloka, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Is he there? Prabhuji is there?
Hare Krishna? Nahi, Prabhu, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, Prabhu. Prabhu, next shloka?
Yeah, 42 also.
Okay,
please.
okay. Sarvana Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna Mataji Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Ujjasvantam Manyamana Atmanam Bhagavan Hajaha Satyan Ganan Pritganan Parokshena Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Sudha Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, I'm audible.
Yes.
Yes, Mataji. Yeah.
Yes. Translation by Divine Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Recognizing himself to be full of desire and energy, the worshipful Brahma, the creator of the living entities, evolved from his own invisible form. From his navel, the hosts of sadhyas and pitas. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Anita Mataji.
Gnananjana Shlaka, Chakshantamana. Yeah, they have to read the purport.
As you say, Prabhu.
Purport is read, this one?
Not yet.
Okay, they can read the purport.
Yeah, Anita Mataji.
Just single.
Hare Krishna, purport by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. The
Yeah.
sadhyas and pitas are invisible forms of departed souls, and they are also created by Brahma. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Om Gnanantimuradasya Gnananjana Shlaka Chakshantamana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So we are in this chapter, 20th chapter. Actually, 19th we covered Hiranyaksha's annihilation, and now the conversation between Maitreya Muni and Vidura is happening here. So as we have come across from the beginning that Brahma is in his passionate mode, and he has got the task of doing the secondary creation. And we have seen how even Brahma had to he actually had got the entire power from the Lord, and with that only he is able to do this creation. So if we come across that 18th shloka, when we did that, just change. So here it is mentioned, first of all, Brahma created from his shadow the covering of ignorance of the conditioned soul. There are 5 in number and are called Tamisra, Antatamisra, Tamas, Moha, and Mahamoha. So like this, these were created, and from that, it's not changing. So from that, the whole mode of ignorance or the tamoguna were created, and while he threw off that body of ignorance out of disgust, because it was so fearful, and then he had to create the yakshas and rakshasas. I mean, they came into being because that was the night time. So, and they actually started devouring him, Lord Brahma himself. And full of anxiety, he was full of anxiety, and then he was telling that, please don't kill me, don't eat me, please protect me. So like this, he himself was in that situation where he was actually under that very the gory forms of yakshas and asuras were there. And again, by the supreme will of the Lord, he had to clear off. He had to get rid of those the ignorance, the mode of ignorance, which was actually haunting him as well. So he left that, and then from that he also created. There were so many others which started appearing. In that we see that one the embodiment of the passion, that was that one lady. The body given by Brahma took the form of an evening twilight. And when the day and night meet, a time which kindles passion, the asuras were passionate by nature, dominated as they are by the element of rajas, took it for a damsel whose lotus feet resounded tinkling of anklets, whose eyes were wide and intoxication, and whose hips were covered with fine cloth, over which shone a girdle. So by that manifestation, asuric manifestation, that one damsel, she appeared. And again, the asuras, as we know, that they are fond of sex, and they are fond of unclean situation. So they got attracted to her, and then they started interacting with her. And actually, what here it means is that this night time, the twilight time, evening, after the evening time, it is the mode of ignorance is very prominent. So even in the 24 hours, it is said that the mode of goodness, the mode of passion, and mode of ignorance are prevalent. For example, the morning time, which is from 4 o'clock till 8 o'clock, it is represented by mode of goodness. And again, in the evening, 4 o'clock till 8 o'clock, there is mode of goodness, Satagun. And in the post 8 o'clock in the morning till 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it is a mode of passion. Then after 8 o'clock in the night till the 4 o'clock in the early morning, which is the night time, it is a mode of ignorance. So like this, it is distributed. So when we also perform our spiritual activities, the mode of goodness more prevalent at the time of in the morning time, which is a Brahma Muhurta, between 4 to 8 o'clock in the morning. So it is good, best result we get by doing during that time. And again, in the afternoon, in the evening, 4 to 8, where the Godhuli Lagna is there. Godhuli Lagna is the time when actually Krishna and Balram come from Vrindavan, the pastime, after doing their afternoon Gocharan. They go for cow grazing. And when they come back, they actually, when the cows' hooves, when they're coming, they raise the dust. If we go to Vrindavan, places like that, even today we can see that the Godhuli, the dust of the from the hoof of the cows and the calves are so wonderful, and we can see that how the dust is there. And then the same dust, the Godhuli, the dhuli, is actually on the faces of all the Gopa boys and all the gopis who are there participating. And then that itself gives a wonderful appearance to them, like kind of a shining on their face, the small speck of those almost golden like or beige like dust. And so the gopis who are there waiting, Yashoda and all the gopis who are waiting for them to come, these boys to come, and they actually get attracted to the very nice features of the lordships and the gopas, and then they actually start inviting them, feeding them, participate in the kirtan, and they are so joyous because all of them have come back. They have gone to the forest grazing. But of course, now today in the Vrindavan also, although there are 12 forests, there are hardly any such real forests are there. And then where we can see that Godhuli, that kind of thing, because now it is all occupied, it is commercialized. But still, there are certain places like Kamyavan, like Madhuvan. So here we can really see, if you go to the interiors of those Vrindavan, we can see how wonderful the forest areas are, and then how we can see hundreds and thousands of cows still grazing, and then still we see so many those Vrajvasis doing this seva. So like this, this is the time is also considered very important when we do our spiritual practices. So that's why even temples, they mostly open during the morning times and again during the evening times. And evening times is more of like utsavam, Pallaki utsavam, processions. So these are done in the evening. The morning time we have the more purifying, like Abhishekam, Archana, these are done. And so like that, the whole day is dedicated for the Lord's worship. And so like this, so this is how the nature has been also been created. And when this, what it represents in the night is the time actually where the most of the tamasic activities are taking place. And here also, the Bhagavatam also is giving very clear instructions, very clear information as to how this is the time when people actually get involved in this, and then asuric mentality is more. And how these asuras, just like how, as an analogy, just like these asuras, how they took the evening twilight to be a beautiful woman, and in her alluring form, they were captivated and they're seized of her. So like that, even for a living entity, Jiva also undergoes these kinds of situation, and he also might get attracted to these tamasic creations. But of course, anyway, this is a part of the creation. But generally, this is the time we have to be careful that we don't get into bad association. If you get into bad association during this time, then we also might be afflicted. Of course, for the devotees, all 24 hours is sacred. Prabhupada says, Narada Muni also says in Pancharatrika Vidhi that all 24 hours they can do the practice of devotional service and doesn't affect them. Prabhupada also said many times that you can practice Krishna consciousness 24 hours. There is no time limitation for us. And as Mahaprabhu also says in Shiksha Ashtakam, in the second sloka, he says very clearly that Tatrarpita Samaya. And there is no time limit for doing this spiritual activity. All 24 hours can be, every moment can be utilized, because that's the beauty of spiritual association. Whereas generally people in the material world, they're all, since they're attached for the to get the karmic karmakandis and to get the result of their activities performed, and mainly to the demigod worship, they actually hanker for to do in the mode of goodness, and then they actually follow these kinds of system. But for a devotee, any time can be done, especially chanting. Many people may not have time to do chanting in the morning times, or maybe in the evening time, because of their engagement in offices and household work. But they can do at any point of time, they can do. And if suppose something is missed out in the morning, they can do it in the afternoon, or in the afternoon can be missed out, can be done in the evening. So like that, they can really
Prabhu, you are on mute. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Can you unmute?
Hare Krishna.
Mataji,
Hare
as a
Krishna,
host,
Prabhu.
can you unmute?
No, Prabhu, I can only ask. I will ask.
Prabhuji, yeah.
Yeah.
doing this. Of course, Gandharvas and Apsaras are also in the same in the mode of goodness, and they're actually created by the Lord to give. Gandharvas are especially professional singers, and they have got the gift of the Lord for doing the dance and musical events. So they are there, and Apsaras, of course, they are. Again, they are in the mood of dancing. They are good dancers, and they are also very beautiful. So like this, they were also they also came into existence. After that, Brahma gave up that shining and beloved form of moonlight. Vishwasu and other Gandharvas gladly took possession of it. So then these two, Vishwasus and Gandharvas, these are other two categories who are again of heavenly nature. They are again not of the demonic nature, but of the demigod or of the devotees of the Lord. So they took possession of that feature. Then this shloka, it says that glorious Brahma next evolved from his sloth the ghosts and fiends, but he closed his eyes when he saw them stand naked with their hair scattered. So now after this, the ghosts and fiends were also evolved. And also from the first canto, also we understand how when the creation was happening, when Brahma wanted to create, when the Sanat Kumaras were produced from his mind, and he wanted Sanat Kumaras to do the progeny, to populate all over the world, because it's a material world, and it was their ordained duty, so that to populate. But unfortunately, they refused, and actually Brahma got very wild, and because they wanted to take a vow of celibacy. They wanted to be devotees to the Lord, and because he got angered, and that is the time when from his brow came Rudra, or the form of Shiva. And while he came, then the ghosts and fiends, Rakshasas, Asuras, all these were manifested, and again he had to take the shelter of the Lord and control. and try to control the situation. But again, by the mercy of the Lord, he could nominate, or he could say that Shiva, he gave that controlling powers to Shiva, so that he takes care of these hoblins, ghosts, all these demonic nature people, or people who are in the mode of ignorance, to be under his control. And that is how we see that in the Gunavatara, Shiva is the one who's taking care of the people in the mode of ignorance, while Vishnu takes care of people in the mode of goodness, Satagun, and Brahma takes care for the people in the mode of passion. Hare Krishna. Then further in the 41st sloka, we see that this ghosts and hobgoblins took the possession of the body thrown in the form of yawning by Brahma, the creator of living entities. This is also known as the sleep which causes drooling. The hobgoblins and ghosts attack men who are impure, and the attack is spoken of as insanity. So it is also said that while sleeping, if people are in mode of really goodness, and if you have actually devotees of the Lord, and they have actually did some good pious act, then for them the sleep is going to be very peaceful, because they are under the shelter of the Lord. And if suppose they are under the probably under intoxication, or if they have done some bad act, then it is easy during the night time. These ghost hobblings can take care of, can actually occupy the jiva. It can actually attack the jiva. And drooling is, again, because if the mouth is open and the saliva comes out, this is called that drooling, which is actually also not a very conducive situation. If somebody is drooling, or somebody, so that means there is some element of ignorance or tamasic mentality is there. So again, for devotees also, we have to be careful. Many times it so happens that we might we might get this kind of a situation. So it actually indicates, as the Bhagavatam also says, that indicates the men who are impure. For them, this kind of a ruling can happen. But again, by taking shelter of the holy name, and by being pious and doing some spiritual activity, we can come out of this situation. Yeah, and the 42nd sloka, recognizing himself to be full of desire and energy, worshipful Brahma, creator of living entity, evolved from his own invisible form from his navel, the host of sadhyas and pitas. So these are the other two categories of living entities. Sadhyas are again those representing our forefathers, and pitas actually are directly the forefathers, but sadhyas are little of a higher category. So this not much is explained about the sadhyas, but sadhyas have come to help if you take some historical events, and those from the Leela, not of the Lord, but I heard that one of the sadhyas who helped Kartikeya, the Kartikeya or the Skanda, they helped him, and they were part of the demigod group. They assisted along with the demigod, and they assisted Kartikeya to kill the demon. Who is that demon? Was actually, I think it is Tarakasura. Tarakasura was one demon. So in order to kill him, Kartikeya had to appear. And actually Kartikeya is again he came out of the conjugal association of Shiva and Parvati. And while they were in union, one of the drops of the semen dropped into the Ganges, and Vayu, the lord of wind, he brought that, he protected that the semen, and then the drop to be fall in Ganges river, Ganga river, and Agni also helped him. And when it fell into that river, and it fell on the reeds of that river, reeds or the plantation part, the dried plantation part of the river. So from that came Kartikeya in his six-headed form. So that's why it's called. He's also called Shanmuga. But very interestingly, his appearance also, Kartikeya also had to come. Why? Because this Tarakasura was a very big asura, and he actually had taken a boon by taking by having worshipped the triads, that the Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara. He had taken a boon that if at all he has to be killed, he can be killed only by the combination of those three, Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara. Otherwise, he cannot be killed. So when he started attacking the demigods, and Indra and all got very afraid as usual, because of his attacking the Swargaloka. So he pleaded to Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, and they formed together. And then Indra and Brahma actually did a very intelligent act of trying to unite Shiva and Parvati. So he sent Kamadev, and then he united them, and then from them he had to, because he had also taken a boon that it can be killed only by a combination. So that is how he was born, and he had a sixth face. That's what is said. So in this fight, while Kartikeya had to fight with the Asura, so that time the Sadhyas have helped. This is the information I get from the Wikipedia or the Google, and probably it is also supported by the Garuda Puran and the Vayu Puran also. It is supported. Hare Krishna. So that is about this Pitas and Sadhyas. And as Prabhupada gives, the Sadhyas and Pitas are invisible forms of the departed souls, and they are also created by Brahma. So we can understand that they are the forefathers. Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, the six heads Dharakasura had?
Pardon?
The six heads, you said six heads Dharakasura had?
6 heads?
6 heads. Who had the 6 heads? Dharakasura?
No. Skanda, Kartikeya.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. That's why it's called Shanmuga, no?
Yeah. Okay.
In the south, actually, Kartikeya is very prominent, especially a Shaivite. We have great worshippers. Lot of worshippers are there, those who follow Shaivites. So Kartikeya is worshipped. Kartikeya comes on a peacock. He comes on his vehicle is peacock, and then he has so many names. Skanda, Kumara, Sharavana Bhava. Sharavana Bhava is actually from where he appeared, from the reeds of the dried plantation. So that's how Sharavana Bhava in Tamil. It says like that. So he's got, and he's a very, very important character. Even in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna proclaims that, in the shloka number 10.24, that he actually says that amongst all the great Senadipati, Skanda, I am Skanda. So what is the shloka? 10.24. Yeah. Purodhasam cha mukyam mam vidhi partha brahaspatim senaninam aham skanda sarasam asmi sagaraha. So translation is, O Arjun, among priests I am Brahaspati, among warriors chief I am Kartikeya, and among reservoirs of water know me to be the ocean. So here Prabhupada gives that narration. Kartikeya, the son of Lord Shiva, is also called Skanda. He is the commander-in-chief of the celestial gods. He is thus the chief of all military commanders and best reflects the opulence of God. Sri Krishna further says that amongst stagnating bodies of water, he is the grave and mighty ocean. So this Skanda is the one who helps, who is actually the commander-in-chief of the celestial entities. Hare Krishna. Yeah, we'll go to shloka number 43.
Shanti Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Atmasargham tam khayam pitara pradipedhire satyebhyascha pitrubhyascha kavayo yad vidanvate. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Vrishbhanu Mataji.
Yes, you can continue.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Dandvat Pranam. Synonyms, Mataji. Purport.
Mataji, translation.
Okay. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Pitas themselves took possession of the invisible body, the source of their existence. It is through the medium of this invisible body that those well versed in the rituals after oblation to the sadhyas and pitas in the form of their departed ancestors on the occasion of Shraddha. Purport. May I read Mataji purport?
No, Mataji, Prashanti Mataji.
Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Prashanti
Yeah.
Mataji, one paragraph you can read and the other paragraph Krishnamurti Prabhu will read.
Sure Mataji, Hare Krishna. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shraddha is a ritualistic performance observed by the followers of the Vedas. There is a yearly occasion of 15 days when ritualistic religiousness follow the principle of offering oblations to departed souls. Thus, those fathers and ancestors who, by freaks of nature, might not have a gross body for material enjoyment can again gain such bodies due to the offering of Shraddha oblations by their descendants. The performance of Shraddha or offering oblations with Prasada is still current in India, especially at Gaya, where oblations are offered at the lotus feet of Vishnu in a celebrated temple. Because the Lord is thus pleased with the devotional service of the descendants, by his grace, he liberates the condemned souls of forefathers who do not have gross bodies, and he favors them to again receive a gross body for development or spiritual advancement. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavat
Hare Krishna.
pranams.
Dandavat. Yes.
Purport by Sri Bhaktivinoda Prabhupada ki jai. Unfortunately, by the influence of Maya, the conditioned soul employs a body he gets for sense gratification, forgetting that such an occupation may lead him to return to an invisible body. The devotee of the Lord, or one who is in Krishna consciousness, however, does not need to perform such ritualistic ceremonies as Shraddha, because he is always pleasing the Supreme Lord. Therefore, his fathers and ancestors who might have been in difficulty are automatically relieved. The vivid example is Prahlad Maharaja. Prahlada Maharaja requested Lord Narasimhadeva to deliver his sinful father, who had so many times offended the lotus feet of the Lord. The Lord replied that in a family where a Vaishnava like Prahlada is born, not only his father, but his father's father and their fathers, up to the 14 fathers back, are all automatically delivered. The conclusion, therefore, is that Krishna consciousness is the sum total of all good work for the family, for society, and for living entities. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the author says that a person fully conversant with Krishna consciousness does not perform any rituals because he knows that simply by serving Krishna in full Krishna consciousness, all rituals are automatically performed. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat pranams.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, am I
Hare
audible?
Krishna.
Yes,
Yes, Prabhu,
yes,
you are
yes.
audible.
One second. One second. So we are in this now, the 42nd shloka, which is actually talking more in elaborate about the real process of Shraddha. So as the shloka mentions, that Pitas themselves took possession of the invisible body, source of their existence. It is through the medium of this invisible body that those well versed in the rituals offer oblations to Sadhyas and Pitas in the form of departed ancestors on the occasion of Shraddha. So Prabhupada starts with the Shraddha, what is it? Then he mentions how it is a Vedic process, and it is basically to give relief to those forefathers, because it is under it's a one is that it is a respect for the forefathers that they get the right destination, so we have to pray for them, and at the same time that we don't know what is the fate of those jivas, how they would have how they would have performed their actions, and how much of spiritual potency they have. Nothing is known. While we are doing our in our daily life, we do a lot of punya karma, we get a lot of papa karma. There is so much of attachment that knowingly we have something, unknowingly we get something, and then we also do some spiritual activity. But at the end of the day, nobody can actually estimate what is the real intention of that person. It's very difficult. Many people do the practices just for some material benefit. Many people may not do it for spiritual benefit. Of course, for the devotee, since we are under the shelter of Prabhupada and the Guru Parampara, we now understand that the spiritual activity is most important, and we have to dedicate ourselves for the upliftment of the soul. So the goal, everything is clear. But for a general common person, a layman, these things may not be under his knowledge, and just to protect that soul, because they also don't know at the end of the final moment of the departure, of the death, who has come, whether Vishnudutta has come or Yamudutta has come. They don't know. And what is the thought process going on in the mind of that departing soul? What he's thinking, what he's hankering for, what was his desire, what was his, he still wants to enjoy. If suppose those propensities are there, obviously he will get that kind of a living entity, living in the next life. So like that, life goes on. So since nothing is clear, the law of karma, nothing is clear, nothing we cannot comprehend those things. So it is better that the son or actually does the oblations or the pindhan, so that the departed soul can get its right destination, and also it gets fed with the So the normal ritualistic way of thinking, it is assumed that the person will probably get a ghostly life. He become a preta. He becomes a ghost. So that is the understanding. Actually, it is a very, very conservative kind of a thing, or assuming that he is going to be at the lowest strata of a ghost, or he doesn't have a body, and if he is loitering without having a body. So that is the understanding. The thing is very humble way of taking that position, that he would have definitely not got a good body. He's maybe suffering. So that is understanding. And with that understanding, by taking a very humble and a lower position, they assuming that he is going to be a ghost, this Pinda Pradhan is being given. But actually, the truth may be something different. So that is why this is every year it is done. And also Prabhupada tells that the yearly occasion of 15 days, that is the Pitru Paksha, when you can offer to any one of your family members. There is no hard and fast. Not just generally Pinda Pradhan when you do for your parents is what brothers you can do, but this is for your uncles, relatives, anybody you can do. Even for a guru you can do on that Pakshamasa time. But of course, guru, when a spiritual nature, it is not required, but still you can extend it to any of them. So that is the separate period which is given. This happens after the Ganesha Chaturthi, when we get the next 15 days after the Purnima. So that is called the Pitru Paksha. So this is the practice, and as I said, that it is only for the upliftment of that jiva, that soul, because nobody knows what actually his intention was, what he has done, his act, karma, and where he is going to his destination, what he wanted. Nothing is known. So best way is that offer everything to the Lord and just pray for his good destination, and let him be a devotee. And as far as we devotees are concerned, Vaishnavas, we simply pray that whoever is a departed soul, that they get the best destination, and they're always under the shelter of Vishnu or Krishna, and let them be under eternal service. So that way, it's a very, very optimistic way of looking things, and we do this seva. And then why here Prabhupada also mentions that it is especially at Gaya it is being mentioned. So if at all the most of the karmakandis and the most of the people ritualistic way of doing, it could be Shaivites, it could be Vaishnavites, anyone for that matter, Shaktas, everybody goes to Gaya. Why? Because Gaya is that place where there was a demon, Gayasura. So he was killed by Vishnu, and this Gayasura also had taken a boon that he cannot be killed. If at all he had to be killed, he had to be killed by the by Vishnu, by the triad of the three Murtis, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. So he had taken that boon, and that is the reason why when he started when he started attacking the Devaloka, and again demigods got afraid. Brahma, Vishnu, Brahma, Vamashwara, everybody came to Vishnu and then asked his Indra also. They came and then asked his help, because this Gayasura was actually wreaking havoc. He went up to Svargaloka, and that is the time when Shiva cut him across. He cut him across in three parts, and the first part, which is actually the Shirogaya, the body of this demon Gayasura, fell in Gaya. And the second part, which is the navel part, fell in Nabi Gaya, fell in Jajpur, which is in Orissa. And there is a temple dedicated to Brahma there, because that is a part of that Brahma's, that portion was there. That representing Brahma's portion. And the third one, which is the the feet, actually Padagaya, fell in today's Pithampura. This is, I think, in Andhra Pradesh. So this is dedicated to Shiva. Like the head, Shiro, represents Vishnu, that's in Gaya, and the Brahma representing the navel, which is in Jajpur, and this Pithampura for representing the feet of the Asura. But at the end of the day, still that Asura had, because Vishnu was pleased and he had his own intention that since Gayasura also had requested a boon, he asked Gayasura that you request any boon, what do you want? Because there are some good element, good quality in Gayasura. So that's why Vishnu knowingly asked him, and then this Gayasura mentioned that he wished the boon that whoever comes to this place, because you killed me here, you set your foot here in Gaya and you killed me. So whoever comes here, let them let that departed soul let them touch this place, or let them have some connection with this place. If they get connected, they can actually go back to Vaikunta. They can go back to the spiritual world. So this was the boon he asked for Gayasura. So for that reason, Vishnu granted, yes, I will sanction that. You have got a very, very noble intention. And Gaya is again the place where it is very sanctified, because my Vishnu Pada is also there. So he placed his Vishnu Pada and he granted the boon. So that is why from centuries and centuries, this place, devotees go there for the departed soul. They're doing the Pinda Pradhan. So this is the reason of that Gaya. Why everybody has to go to Gaya? Why only Gaya? Is because of this reason. So one is that he liberated the soul, the Asuric mentality was liberated. But at the same time, since Asura also had that good intention of liberating the other people, because he got the association of Vishnu, and then he actually transformed himself, and then he pleaded that since you have come and placed your foot here, so let everybody come and do the Pinda Pradhan on this Vishnu Pad. So like this, even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he went to Gaya, of course, just before he started the Sankirtan movement. When his father passed away, he went to Gaya, and then he did the Pinda Pradhan for his father also. And then while coming back, he came to Kanai Natshala and had the darshan of Krishna. This is actually Kanai Natshala. It's about north of Mayapur, about 400 kilometers north of Mayapur. So then he actually revived this Krishna consciousness, the Sankirtan movement. So like this, this is a very important, interesting Leela of the Lord. So here again, Prabhupada mentions that how this under the influence of Maya, conditioned soul enjoys, always want to do the sense gratification, forgetting that he has an invisible body, which is the subtle body. So further, Prabhupada says the devotee of the Lord, or one who's Krishna consciousness, however, does not need to do such ritualistic ceremonies or shraddha, because he's always pleasing to the Supreme Lord. And since he's already worshipping Supreme Lord, and he's direct direct service of the Lord, so there is no need to serve these fathers and ancestors who might be in difficulty. Because, and he quotes that example of how Hiranyakashipu, Prahlad Maharaj requested that Hiranyakashipu should be liberated. Although he was an asura, he wanted him to be liberated and come to good terms. Although he had offended the Lord, the Vaishnava's quality, as Prahlad was the best among the Vaishnavas, he did not want to see any other entity under distress. So he wanted, even his father, although he was an asura, to be liberated. Vaishnava's mood is that to paradukha dukhi. So he saw that his father was a demonic person, he was a dukhi, but he didn't want to see him. He wanted to even liberate him. And that's why he pleaded to Narasimhadev that you please bring back my father, give him a nice destination, let him become your devotee. So then Lord actually gave him a bonus. He said that not only your father, even 14 generations before and after you come, they all will be liberated. So like that, he gave that verdict. And that is why if there is one devotee family, if there is one devotee in a family, he becomes Krishna consciousness and takes up that good task, then the entire the family before and after, those also, they all will be benefited. So that is the greatest benefit of being a devotee. And we can actually liberate so many of our Pitrus and the further future generation. So, and finally, Prabhupada ends in Chaitanya Charitamrita, the author says that a person fully conversant with Krishna consciousness does not perform any rituals, because he knows that by serving Krishna in full consciousness, all rituals are taken care. So we don't have to do ritual by ritual. We don't have to be ritualistic, but we can simply be by surrendered to the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. We can actually do. The Lord takes care, because since we have surrendered and we have actually become his taken his shelter and become his devotee, he's going to protect us. So again, in Chaitanya Leela, there is one wonderful pastime of a devotee, Govinda Ghosh. There are actually 3 brothers. I think they have time. Yeah, just a few minutes. 3 brothers, Govinda Ghosh, Vasudev Ghosh, and Madhav Ghosh, were there. They were actually living in the Katwa village. Katwa village. And near to that, they were living in Agradweep, that place. So this is a wonderful pastime of the Lord. And these 3 brothers were very good singers, and they used to participate in Mahaprabhu's, Nityananda Prabhu's, all the pastime leelas where they are going on preaching. And so this Agradweep also is a very nice, very peaceful, calm, serene place. There is a lake and water body nearby. And these 3 brothers were the great devotees of the Lord, and they were also great devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Mahaprabhu. And while they were serving him, it so happened that Mahaprabhu said that, yeah, now you three have to go for preaching. So you have to go to different places. So he sent 2 of the brothers to different places, while Govinda Ghosh had to stay in Agradweep. And they constructed a temple, Gopinath Ji, and he actually wanted, and when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda also left that Agradweep, they were in so much of distress. They did not want to have that separation. Then the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu manifested, and they gave them that deity of Gopinath deity. So he made sure that the deity comes in that river body, that lake, and he came in a dream and told Govinda Ghosh that you will get this Saligrama Shila, you please make a deity, Gopinath deity, and you worship me. If you worship me, it's as good as taking care of me, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also. So like that he gave, and they started worshipping. And it so happened that by again a quirk of fate, that he had a son. He had married Govinda Ghosh, and he had a son, and he had a beautiful wife. But unfortunately, the son died. and also the wife also passed away, unable to bear that distress of separation. And then the Govind Ghosh became very, very desolate. He was actually praying to the Lord. He did not know what to do. The deities are there, but his child is not there, and such a child was taken away, and wife also passed away. So it's such a very destitute mood. And then he prayed, but then Mahaprabhu and again Lord Krishna came in his dream, and he said that, don't worry, for your and finally Govind Ghosh also left his body, but he promised that I will come, and I will do the Pinda Pradhan for you, that Govind Ghosh. So like that, even today, immediately Lord Gopinath deity, the next day when Govind Ghosh passed away, he took the deity took the form of a white dress, white dhoti and white uttariya, and then he actually wore the kusha grass, because when you're doing the Pinda Pradhan, you have to wear the kusha grass and you have to do that. So Lord had manifested, Gopinath deity manifested in the form of his as his father of Govind Ghosh, and then he did the Pinda Pradhan for his devotee Govind Ghosh. And this way, even today, the deities are there, and that place, I believe there is, at the time when Govind Ghosh passed away, I think it is happening in the next month. I think on the 5th or 6th is Govind Ghosh disappearance day, and that day the Lord has this, this appearance, and then he actually does Pinda Pradhan for his own devotee, that is Govind Ghosh. So like that. It's a wonderful pastime, and how the Lord is so compassionate to his devotees, and then he did that just to fulfill his desire, that he took the role of a father for that, and then he did that act. Hare Krishna. So this is all about today's session. And there are 2-3 wonderful kirtans, bhajans, which Vasudev Ghosh had penned down. One of them is actually this Jai Jai Jagannath. Jai Jai Jagannath Sachiranandan Tribhuvane Koreja Charana Vandan Neela Chale Shankar Chakragada Padmadhar Nadiya Nagare Dandaka Mandalukar Keho Bole Puraba Ravan Badila Golokera Vaibhav Leela Prakash Korila Jai Jai Jagannath Sachira. So like that, he finally says that here. He says, fourth verse is Shri Radhar Bhave Eba Gora Avatar Hare Krishna Nam Gaura Korile Prachar. He came as Radha Baba Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he Gora Avatar, he took that golden avatar, and then he distributed the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Prachar he did. So now in the final one he says, Vasudeva Ghosh Bole Kore Joda Hath. Say Gaura, say Krishna, say Jagannath. So Vasudev Ghosh, with both folded hands, humbly I pray, and I am declaring that it is Gaura is none other than Krishna, and Krishna is none other than Jagannath. So like that, he gave that wonderful kirtan. And also one more exclusive kirtan he gave was Yadi Gaur na hoito tabe ki hoito ke mon dhari tambe Radhar Mahima Prema Rasa Sima Jagate Janot Ko Yadi Gaur na hoito tabe ki hoito ke mon dhari tambe. So he's praying here. What if Gaur Chandra had not appeared on this material world? How would have got Radhar Mahima? How would have come to understand Radhar Mahima? How would have understood Prema Rasa? It's beyondless, it is limitless Prema Rasa. Only by Mahaprabhu's mercy we got this, and then we got the holy names. So like that, who would have come to Vrindavan? Who would have understood Vrindavan Leela? All that happened only because Gauranga Mahaprabhu came. And then we just celebrated 2 days back Mahaprabhu's appearance, the golden avatar, which is a combination of Sri Radha and Krishna. And then so many internal, external reasons are there. Internal reason is that he wanted to enjoy the mood of Radharani and how she's enjoying Krishna's association. And the external reason is that he wanted to liberate unlimited, so millions and millions of devotees to go back to this spiritual world. So like this, these wonderful songs were created by this Vasudev Ghosh. Hare Krishna. And yesterday we had the Jagannath Mishra festival, where Jagannath Mishra, on the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he celebrated, and a lot of gifts were exchanged, especially Srivas Thakur's wife Malini came and then gifted, and Advaita Acharya's wife. So all these devotees came because they're all completely attracted by the golden form of the Lord. And the same way how when Krishna was born, the Nandotsav was celebrated next day, where Nanda Maharaj also exchanged the gifts and pleasantries, and where Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj, Devaki and Vasudev also were invited. So like this, it's the same situation here. When Mahaprabhu came, we had Jagannath Mishra festival, and so that's the glorious pastimes of the Lord. So with this, I will end today's session. Anyone has any questions, realizations, they can.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much for such a informative and very, very nice class, Prabhuji. Shraddha and Pitru, Paksha, everything got quite clear, the concepts that we always wonder what is it all about. Hare Krishna. Do we have time, Prabhuji, for questions?
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Devotees, anybody wants to ask questions?
Yes, I have one question.
Yes, ma'am.
Prabhuji, the first question is in Chaitanya Charitamrita. The author says that a person fully conversant with Krishna conscious, he does not have to do these rituals. Where do you find that, Prabhuji? Any idea?
Yeah, I think Prabhupada, it's mentioned the purport, right?
Yeah,
in the purport, Prabhupada gives that. Author says that a person fully conversant with Krishna consciousness does not perform any rituals, because he knows that simply by serving Krishna in full consciousness, all rituals are automatically performed. Yeah, actually, I couldn't. I wanted to search that, but I couldn't get that time, or I could not locate that. But in Bhagavatam, there is a shloka which is Devarshi Bhuta. So that is there. There's a shloka in Bhagavatam which is actually talking of this. Second.
Also, Prabhuji, does it apply to only pure devotees?
No, not necessarily. Basically, what Prabhupada is telling, is that one who is Krishna consciousness, one who is in a Krishna consciousness situation, for him,
it doesn't fully conversant in Krishna consciousness, fully.
Yeah. So that is the benefit that a person gets, because when in Krishna consciousness activity, actually we are beyond the three modes. When you're doing a seva to the Lord, it is actually we are going beyond the three modes. So that way, it is not of any ritualistic practices. It's not a religion by as such. It is actually the eternal dharma of the soul, what we are doing in a spiritual practice. So that way, we're actually Prabhupada says that we'll be beyond our the karmic activities. It's a spiritual activity. And does anyone have that shloka? Actually, it's there in Bhagavad Gita also. Prabhupada quotes that.
So, Prabhuji, even in the neophyte level, like the struggling neophyte level, like us, at least if I talk about myself, then very, very basic level that we are in devotion. Even for them, it is like we do the basic thing, following four principles, chanting 16 rounds, doing bhoga.
Yes.
But our consciousness may not be 24/7 into Krishna. Even then, this is.
Yeah, Mataji. Actually, it's your intention which is more important. Krishna is, we know that Bhavagrahi Janardhan. So what is our intention of doing this chanting, and what is because we want to be uplifted. We have come to understand that this material world is not the place. We understood the Mahima of the holy name, We understood the pastimes. We're trying to understand the pastimes of the Lord, and we are always relishing. We are coming to satsang. So these are all parts of Diksha is one part where we become more serious and we take the shelter of the Guru. But if somebody is not even taken Diksha, but if the mercy of the Lord and mercy of the senior Vaishnavas are there, obviously, they are also equally qualified to be Guru. And the same thing happened in the lifetimes of many devotees in Prabhupada's lifetime. There was an R.L. Sethi, who was actually didn't take Diksha. And he helped in restoring the Juhui temple when there was a fight between the owner and the owner wanted to cheat. And this R.L. Sethi, being a devotee of the Lord, he protected the deities, he protected the devotees overnight. And so Prabhupada was very compassionate with him. And then he gave him the beads and asked him to chant. And he chanted. And at the time of, after a few years, he passed away. And when
Prabhu, you're on mute.
Prabhu, you are on mute.
passed him, and so
Can you
Prabhupada
repeat,
suggested-
Prabhuji? Can you repeat that little bit? We didn't hear.
Yeah,
How
so-
can you mute?
So when he had his final moments, he was chanting, and when the relatives then told that when after you gave this bead bags, he was always with his bead bags wherever he used to go, and although he was bedridden, but he was chanting. So like that they explained, and Prabhupada also when they met his family members after the death, when he came to Mumbai, so he explained, he told them, he assured them. There is no doubt that he is actually gone back to the spiritual world. So he said that. So like this. And there is another devotee, a Bengali devotee, who also who actually was not initiated, but he was given the chanting bag. And even same thing happened in his case also, that he remained to be devotee till his last moment. And Prabhupada had told that this was in Delhi. He told that this Bengali Babu definitely he would have gone to the spiritual world. So this is the situation, and so of course we become more serious and we take the shelter of the Guru so that we can advance more fast. So that is the understanding.
So, Prabhuji, that means even Gaya, we don't have to go to Gaya and do Pinda. Chaitanya Chaitanya, Lord Chaitanya, of course, he himself went to do this Pinda for his father.
Yeah, actually, for a devotee, it is not required because we are actually serving the Supreme Lord, and so many devotees in today's situation in our movement also, they don't do because what we do is the higher than doing even Pinda Pradhan and doing this ritualistic act is pleasing the devotees of the Lord by feeding the devotees, by doing Sankirtan. So on behalf of the departed soul, if we do the Sankirtan and we engage the Vaishnavas and ask their prayers, actually that is the biggest benefit that the departed soul will get. So this is our understanding, because it is actually substantiated by that sloka in Bhagavatam. I'm not able to get that shloka. It's a wonderful shloka.
Mataji has given, Prabhuji, one Mataji has given is a 7, Bhagavatam, Canto 7, 14 chapter from 19 verse onwards.
Is it the same thing, which is actually it starts with Devarshi?
7:14.
Yeah, Devarshi. That is what the shloka starts. Bhuta Devarshi. Pitru. Like that it starts. I had that somehow it just got maybe deleted when my and in Bhagavad Gita also, when in the first chapter itself, if somebody has a Bhagavad Gita and look at the index, they will get this shloka. In the first chapter itself, this comes. Okay, I will try.
One of the devotees has asked a question that is it necessary to
Hare
go to
Krishna
Gaya
Prabhu, Bhagavad
during the
Gita,
Shraddha
which
only?
introduction, Prabhu? Are you asking for introduction? I have.
No, in Bhagavad Gita introduction itself, the first chapter itself, there is this shloka.
One word.
Very, very important shloka.
Srimad Bhagavatam.
Bhutaptan Rinam Pitranam.
What is that sloka? I think 11 point something.
11.
Yeah, 11.5.41. Yes, I got it.
Yeah, 11.5.41. Yes.
Yeah, 11.5.41. So this is the shloka. This is very, very important for devotees. Devarshi Bhutapta Nrunam Pitrunam Na Kinkaro Nayam Runi Charajan Sarvatmana Ya Sharanam Sharanyam Gato Mukundam Parihritya Kartam. So what is the meaning? O king, one who has given up all material duties and has taken full shelter of the lotus feet of Mukunda, who offers shelter to all, is not indebted to the demigods, great sages, ordinary living beings, relatives, friends, mankind, or even one's forefathers who have passed away. Since all such classes of living entities are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, one who has surrendered to the Lord's service has no need to serve such persons separately. Haribol.
And I found Bhagavad Gita text 41. Sankaro narkayeva kuladranam kulasya cha patanti pitaro yusam lukta.
Yeah, in that purport, Prabhupada has quoted this shloka, in that purport.
Like there is no offering of oblation of food water.
It's there?
Yeah.
You got it, Mataji?
What in the chapter which shloka, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, this 11.5.41.
Yes,
is
yes,
there.
they are mentioned in purport.
Correct?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. So that way it is very clear that since we are serving the Supreme Lord, we don't have any obligation to even to the demigods, great sages, relatives, friends, mankind, forefathers, everything. But still, out of compassion, out of duty, somebody can still do, even if he is a Krishna conscious devotee also, can still do this Pitu Tarpan, so that family members are not affected. Some family members will insist that you do it. So you can always do it, but always at the end of the day, what? We are praying to Krishna that please deliver this soul. So that mood and intention is important rather than the act. And what to speak of, feeding Vaishnavas and asking their prayers. That is the biggest advantage any soul can get. Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, that feeding the Vaishnavas you have to do within the 13 days? Within that or afterwards?
No, that is during every year when you do the Shraddha or Samaradhe, the Pindadan, that is there. And also during the Pitru Paksha, you can also do that.
No, but the 13 days, when a person leaves the body, those first 13 days, it's like,
Yes, that time also you have to feed. Ideally, in our Gaudiya Sampradaya, we do it on the 7th day, we do it, the feeding to the Vaishnavas.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can call them home and give, or we have to give the temple?
Yeah, I can give it in the temple. That is also done. You could do it in the home. If devotees are coming, the best is that they do sing Sankirtan and pray to the Lord, so that departed soul is benefited.
Also, one thing more, Prabhuji, during those 13 days, do we keep the temple open or closed, or we don't pray?
Actually, when it comes to our karmakandis, or generally people who are religioustic, or people following certain Brahminical or caste system, or as a layman, most of them they do this because they have the sutaka of 12 days, and then they have this. So generally, such people, when it comes to the family tradition, they don't do the deity worship. So this is what is, because what we have to see also is what your relatives, what your other members are going to follow. Because if you break this principle, maybe you'll attract their they may get upset. So that way, to just protect the family interest, we may have to do this, because Sutaka is still there. Of course, some devotees after 3 days or 4 days they start worshipping, but generally this is also not advisable, because what is important is your consciousness. Because when a departed soul has gone, your consciousness is always with that soul, and you might be in grief. So in such a grief situation, how you can please the Lord? You may do some errors, you may do some apradhas in doing the seva to the Lord. So it is some people stay away, and then after the 13th day, the Shubha is there, Shubha day, then only they go to the altar. Yeah, so again, it depends on devotee to devotee, what kind of a level of consciousness and what is their commitment to the Lord. Some people are so devoted to the service of the Lord, they probably give it the deities or ask their own god brothers or sisters to take it and do the seva. So that is also possible.
Yeah, but then Prabhu, we offer food to the God. So now to the Lord. So that same. So now, because normally there's a procedure, no? The Brahmin comes home and then the cooked food, when we offer, he offers it to Vishnu and then give it to the other people in the family.
Yeah. That's what. So this can be done with the intention of pleasing Supreme Lord and assisting the departed soul. It can be done.
Okay, so whether we keep the temple open or not, that's up to us, up to the individual.
Yeah, it is up to the individual. Yeah, your family traditions, your relatives, because there is so much of pressure when such a situation happens. Brothers are there, sisters are there. So each one may say one thing. When we are Krishna conscious, we have our own plans. They may not like it. Some opposition may come. So it's better to be very careful in such a situation and do what the seniors advise you, because our KC is always there. We can do independent of that, so that we don't hurt the sentiments of our own family members and relatives. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mother. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhu, it's regarding Mangal Arati. So if one is not able to do at 4:30 or 5 o'clock, whatever it is, morning time, so they can able to do what time before in the morning, Prabhu?
Actually, Mangalarti is to be performed at least before 8 o'clock. The Satyagon is there. Yeah, at least before 8. Somebody is sick.
Maximum that before 8 o'clock we should finish.
Actually, Prabhuji, my Shiksha Guru said, for Grahasthas, you can do it at about 6:37.
Yeah, before 8. I'm telling, I'm giving some more
relaxation. Prabhu is giving some more relaxation.
But ideally 4 to 8 is the time. So again, one more thing is, for example, somebody is sick, somebody is not in, he's incapacitated, somebody is not well. What to do? You may get up at 9 o'clock, but still, if you are in the mood of serving the Lord, if you're waking the Lord, you can still do it.
So there is no aparadh, no, Prabhu. Suppose if you are doing
that's right. Before aparadh happens, you please plead to the Lord. You beg.
Yes. First we will ask that only, Prabhu. Yeah, first we will ask.
We will also understand that. Yeah, but it does not mean that when you're
not daily. Whenever correct. In an emergency. But Prabhu, can we do it in the evening, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji.
Evening also we can do before, means after 4, before 8.
Yeah, evening again, 4 to 8 is there. Very, very appropriate.
But the same way, Prabhu, means what we do in the early morning.
We do the Sandhya Arati. We call it Sandhya Arati.
So the same thing.
Actually, in our Gaudiya Sampradaya, in the morning, we pray to Krishna. We do all the recitation, the prayers, the Guru Ashtaka, everything to Krishna. Of course, the Guru is there. We pray to the Guru, so that the worship of the Lord takes care of nicely. The main deities, Krishna and his consorts. In the evening, we again pray to the Guru, but we do it for Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Gaura Chande, Arati Koshobha. So, of course, it is just a very symbolic way of doing, but still we can still do to Krishna. There is no harm in that. But we have our, because Mahaprabhu appeared in the evening, and in the Sandhya Kal, so Sandhya Arati is dedicated to Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Yeah, so like that. It's just
our procedure, Prabhu, with the same procedure with 5 items or 7.
Yes. The Pancharatrika Vidhi is the same. All the 7 offerings. We do the 7 offerings. That is the same.
Gaur Aarti is superb. Like Prabhuji in the temple, it goes on and on, never ending. It's so nice. Yeah, it's so nice. How people start dancing, all the devotees.
Yes. That's right. Haribol.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So I think we'll end today's session. Thanks for all your association, and then I'll pray. Vancha kalpadruksha Vaishnavebhyo namo
Thank you, Prabhuji, for the wonderful explanation.
Prabhuji, thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Pranam to all devotees. Hare Krishna. I'll end the session, Prabhu.
Yes.